come on, bounce, come on, bounce, come on, bounce, come on.
For the heaviest, or you're gonna get caught. Cause we never rest, drop this on ya. For the heaviest, you would never wanna talk shit cause we come back to haunt ya.
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is a 2007 film. It's indeed the sequel to Fantastic Four. It's once again directed by Tim Story. Now the premise of the film is the Fantastic Four by this point are pretty much celebrities, and Reed and Sue are getting ready to get married. Just when all that's going on, the Silver Surfer arrives to Earth, preparing to destroy it. So the Fantastic Four has to figure out who this guy is, why he's doing this, and how can they stop him. Now, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, this isn't a perfect film, and there are a couple of things. One big thing in particular that damn near pisses me off about this film. But with that being said, I don't think it's a terrible sequel.
These were taken by one of our spy satellites 3 days ago.
We need a way to locate and intercept that object.
There are a couple of things about this movie that I don't like. Like first, when you see at the beginning, when Johnny gets Reed to have a bachelor party, the scene where they're at the club and Reed is dancing with the two girls and he's using his stretch ability to dance with two of them. It's really silly, too silly. And even though I've always known the Fantastic Four for being a little bit on the lighthearted side, and even the first film, I feel like it was a decent balance between the lightheartedness and the seriousness. But this film is just, it's borderline corny. The rating is PG. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a Fantastic Four PG movie or even a superhero PG movie, but when the first film is PG-13, it's pretty glaring, it's pretty obvious, it's really in your face just how much more PG the sequel is. Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, once again, I don't really care for her being cast as Sue Storm. I don't hate her like some people do. She is hot to look at, so there's a plus for Jessica Alba. But I guess ultimately I just don't buy her as a scientist. But at least her character here isn't acting as immature as she is in the first film. At least she understands why Reed is still willing to work with the government in order to figure out who the Silver Surfer is. Johnny Storm, once again, Chris Evans is great in this part. I like Chris Evans. He's still providing some of the funniest stuff in the film that generally makes me laugh. Unfortunately, though, he pretty much has the same character arc as he did in the first film, where he's this cocky, big-headed guy who loves the fame, loves the notoriety, but then by the end of it has to realize how to work as a team. Yeah, I guess that's really the only type of character arc you can do with the Human Torch. I guess the only difference here is that when Johnny encounters the Surfer, it makes his powers switch with everyone else.
Your encounter with the Surfer has affected your molecules.
You like a volunteer?
No, hey!
Michael Chiklis as the Thing. I like the Thing in this film. I like the fact that he's accepted what he is, who he is, so he's not depressed anymore, and he's a lot more fun, and he's making jokes.
Oh my God! Come on!
But let's get to the guy that I really want to talk about. The Silver Surfer. I think the Silver Surfer is the best thing that this film has going for it. I love when you see the Surfer. First, it destroys one planet, and then it comes to Earth, and it's almost traveling through these different countries, almost preparing to what it's about to do to Earth.
It's here.
That's bad.
That's really bad.
The effects for the Surfer look great. He looks amazing flying around on his board. I know most of it's CGI, but still, it looks fucking awesome. Like the one scene where the Human Torch is chasing the Silver Surfer all through the city and the world. I fucking love watching that. Honestly, that scene alone is reason enough to watch this film. Lawrence Fishburne as the voice of the Silver Surfer. I love the voice. I wouldn't have thought Lawrence Fishburne to cast as that voice, but when I hear it, I think it sounds perfect. His reasoning when you find out he's working for Galactus, and he's doing this because he's sparing his world and the woman he loves from Galactus. I like that. That's true to the comics, but what pisses me off about this is that Galactus is done so poorly in this film. They made him a fucking cloud. A cloud. You just see Galactus as this big gray cloud hovering over planets and like almost eating them alive. And I get it. Maybe 20th Century Fox was scared. They were nervous to do the true comic book form of Galactus, who's big, huge, has that purple costume with the helmet, and I get it. It might look silly in the comic books, but you could have done something. You could have made him, I don't know, wear all black, or just a dark, really dark shade of purple. I don't know. Whatever you would have done for a different design of Galactus would have been 10 times better than to make him a fucking cloud. It's like he's not even real. He's not even a person or a being. Like, what is that?
We have to destroy this thing.
Also, they have Victor Von Doom back in the film, and it's not like I don't like Julian McMahon who plays the character. I just don't really care for what they do with Doom. He's here for what? He has an encounter with the Surfer, and that encounter heals him, and heals him from all of his metal scarring and stuff, so when he shows up, he looks normal. And I'm like, oh, so that's it for Doom? He's just now normal?
All that you know is at an end.
And then the U.S. military and government that's working with the Fantastic Four to figure out what the Silver Surfer is, they just bring Victor Von Doom in to work with them like it's nothing. It's like, really? You guys are going to forgive Doom for what he did in the first film when he just went apeshit and tried to kill everyone in New York? Wow. The side plot of Reed having this backstory with the captain in the military, how they used to go to high school together and he was a jock and Reed was a nerd and now he wants to stand up to him, that I didn't give a shit about. It was pointless. But getting back to Doom, once again, second film with Doom, I don't understand his plan or his goal. Which sucks because I like Victor Von Doom, the character from the comics. He's an awesome villain, one of my favorite Marvel villains, but he hasn't really been portrayed all that great in the films. Here, it's like he wants what? He wants to surf his board? Because I get it, he wants power, but what does he expect to do once he has it, once he has his power? Galactus is coming to destroy Earth, but I will admit, seeing the scene of Doom on the Surfer's board was pretty awesome. Some of the action scenes work, like the end battle where the Fantastic Four is in Japan and they're fighting Doom and then Silver Surfer has to stop Galactus. All that happening in Japan I thought was a nice touch. Sue Storm having that connection with Silver Surfer I thought was decent, even though in the comics it was Alicia that Silver Surfer had a connection with. And I almost would have rather seen that just because Alicia doesn't really do much here. I would like to see Kerry Washington, her role be played up bigger and more important. But at the same time, I guess, since you don't have Jessica Alba doing anything, they needed her to do something. So guys, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer is not a perfect film. It's a little bit too much humor, and I know what they do with Galactus is so fucking messed up. Fuck you, 20th Century Fox. Could this movie have been a lot better? Hell yeah, it could have been a lot better. But as it stands, as we have it, as it is, I will say I do still enjoy Rise of the Silver Surfer. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this film. I know most of you hate it, but hey, what can you do? Like and subscribe. Later!